What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. What's cracking, y'all? Welcome back with some more Kobe Bean Bryant content. Looks like Shannon Sharpe on his very booming and popular podcast and show Club Shay Shay has now invited music executive, author, businessman Steve Stoute onto the show to talk. And it looks like on one of their segments, they brought up Kobe Bryant. So Kobe Bryant versus New York City Gangster, balling at Rucker Park, guarding Allen Iverson, and watching Jordan tape. I've never heard of Kobe Bryant versus a gangster. I've never heard that story. I know all about Kobe balling at Rucker Park. This was back in 2002, fresh off the three-peat, where he was rocking the Air Force Ones and playing in the rain and all that. That was his first time playing at Rucker, at least since becoming a professional athlete. He grew up, part of his life he grew up in Philadelphia, so I wouldn't be surprised if he might have made his way out to Rucker in high school, but I've never heard a story about that, or it's never been documented anyway. I know about Kobe Bryant's obsession with guarding Allen Iverson. You know, Kobe looked at Allen Iverson like a great white shark, and Kobe went great white shark cage diving to study the animal closer to get a better idea of how Allen Iverson operated. And of course, Kobe watching Jordan tape. I mean, that's a given, right? But anyway, let's get into it. I'm actually really excited to see what Steve Stoute has to say. It should be interesting. Let's get it popping. Check out our Kobe Bryant playlist.
Many people know this, but Kobe lived with you for 6 weeks. Yeah. How old was he when he lived with you?
How old was he? He was going into his second year.
So he's about 18.
Yeah.
And you said, is it true that you signed Kobe to a recording contract?
Yeah, I signed Kobe to a recording contract. So
to do what?
The math went just like this.
Yeah, I want to hear this one. Let me tell you for this one.
When Will Smith made Men in Black and sold all these records, the music business had changed where it was like, you know, it was, again, Nas, Wu-Tang, and Biggie, and sort of Mobb Deep. It was that kind of, you know, much darker sound.
Yes.
Right? Compared to what he was doing.
Right.
He was bright as bright can get.
Right. You talking about Will or Kobe?
I'm talking about Will. I'm talking about Will right now.
Yeah, yes, okay.
So I'm like, if this guy, and he rapped over a sample and it became super pop and successful, I'm like, if we can do that, just maybe, but hold on, Shaq just did it. Shaq sold millions of records, man.
Correct.
People, like, he really did.
Yes.
It is not a fake thing.
Right.
Shaq had a successful recording music career. And I'm like, if Shaq can do it, Will Smith did it, big, Shaq just did it, this kid Kobe, people will love this guy. I mean, he went to the prom with Brandy. There was a lot of energy around him. And he actually had a rap group. When I signed him, he was in a group. I mean, you know, Kobe, God bless, anyway, he went solo soon after.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, Kobe didn't start with the group.
He was in the group, though. He was in the group, and he put in the work. He came to my house. He lived at my house for 6 weeks. I lived in New Jersey. A very dear friend of mine, Charles Oakley, used to come out to Jersey and hang out with him, worked out with him a few times. And Kobe was we would, in the morning, get up. I got him to go to this local gym. He would shoot 1,000 shots. Then he had these tapes. I'm
going to pause real quick. I'm going to have to pause when I have to say something because I'm going to forget my thoughts. I apologize. So, I remember, now I don't know if the songs I'm thinking of are directly associated with Steve Stoute, but I had about 3 songs of Kobe Bryant, right? One, I believe, was Kobe Bryant featuring Tyra Banks, right? And Tyra was like, KOBEILOVEU, forevermore. Something like that. Kobe was out there rapping, what I live for, basketball, beats and brawls. From Italy to the U.S., yes, I'm raw. So. I used to know the whole thing by heart. Obviously, a Kobe fan, I listened to it. He did another track with, I want to say it was Boys to Men, if I'm not mistaken. It was like an R&B joint. And then I had another freestyle of Kobe. I had 3 Kobe tracks. Now, like I said, I don't know how directly, affiliated it was with Steve here, but yeah, that happened. That was the thing. A lot of people don't know that. Kobe Bryant liked rapping. I'm not saying he was necessarily very good. He was alright, but yeah, he had a rap. Was it Boys to Men? I gotta look that up. No, it was Brian McKnight featuring Kobe Bryant. Bryant McKnight featuring Kobe Bryant. I had to look that joint up. I don't know why I thought Boys to Men. Well, I guess maybe I was thinking of Boys to Men's tribute they did to Kobe, maybe. But yeah, Brian McKnight featuring Kobe. Go check it out. The track is called Hold Me. All right, let's get back to it.
It was Michael Jordan going left, Michael Jordan going right. So it was just, the tapes were split of Jordan moving left, Jordan moving right, Jordan guarding people going left, Jordan guarding people going right. And he'd watch it for hours, and then we would go to the studio and record. That was his routine every single day. I learned a lot of discipline, from a young man. I thought I was pretty disciplined and doing my thing, and I seen another level of it with him. Very, very special talent. I could talk about him for hours, because during that period of time when I got to know him, he wasn't really into having a lot of friends. A lot of people never got a chance to get get a chance to get close to him, because he was closed off like that. And for years, man, we would speak all the time. I mean, we became very, very close friends. So obviously it was unfortunate. I took him to Rucker Park. He played in Rucker Park, man. And he wanted to play, because all these NBA guys go to Rucker Park. It's like, you got to play in the Rucker.
It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah, and we go out there, and I gave him to my man. I didn't have a team. Irv Gotti grew up in my neighborhood. I let him play for Irv's Murder Inc. team at the time. And he goes out there, and all the guys are there, and he starts putting on a show, Shannon. A show. He loved it. It starts to drizzle.
Pause. All right, so just so you understand, he's transitioning now. Kobe was not 18 when he went to Rucker Park. So it seems like they built a relationship when Kobe was 18. They kept in contact for some years. And I remember this because Steve Stout contacted Irv Gotti. He said, yo, I can get Kobe to play on your team. And he made it happen. And a lot of people didn't even know. Like, this wasn't publicized. And it came out just like the day of the game, maybe, I don't know, hours before the game started. Somebody got wind of it and let it out, and then people all started coming to the basketball court. But yeah, this is a transition. He was not 18 when he played at Rucker. He was like early 20s, fresh after the three-peat. So what? That'll put him at like maybe 23 years old. But yeah, he had the Caesar. I remember he had the earrings in, balling.
I'm like, we got to close this game down. I mean, I'm not letting him play, but he's not going to let the game, he's not going to want to be the one to call it. So that he starts telling the basketball team how to play on wet surfaces.
Wow.
I'm like, we're not doing any of this, because I already know this man gets hurt.
It's on your
me.
watch.
It's on my watch. So we shut it down. But yeah, I forgot what he put. He scored 30 points in 12 minutes or some crazy number and shit like that.
So could you tell, because you said he's so disciplined, he's watching Jordan go left, watching Jordan go right. Jordan's guarding left, Jordan's guarding right. Mm-hmm. And he's back in the studio recording. Did you know then, with the level of discipline that an 18-year-old kid had, that he was going to be what he became?
Oakley told me. Charles told me. Charles told me immediately the similarities between him and Jordan with work ethic. He knew it immediately. Like, he came in talking that. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I'm like, whatever. He said that. But the other thing he did was he asked me, and I had this guy who worked for me, at the time. He's actually now, his name is Anton Marchand. He's actually recruits for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He worked for me in the music business at the time. Kobe was going to go out Allen Iverson that year, and he was very much respectful of Iverson's speed and all that. And he said, he wanted to get young guards from New York that could, do their thing. Crossover and all that. We got him, went to this indoor gym. He lined 10 of them up. They came in from the three-point line. He stood at the foul line, and they would come in like an assembly line, and he would guard them, try to strip them, take them to the hole, and then run back to the line before the next guy came. He ran that. He never got on offense. He ran that like an assembly line. Wow. He was just guarding. He was guarding guys, 6 foot, fast as shit. They'd get past him, steal from him, block it, rub their shit against the backboard, come back, guard the next guy. He was doing this over. I couldn't believe that he was doing this. No offense, no nothing. And it was like this level of discipline. And in a tough guy. Tough, like just a strong, disciplined, tough, principle-driven man. We go out one night.
Pause. Yeah, like I said, this is the type of training and things Bean Bryant used to do are just so out there. It's just like, who thinks of this? The type of detail. Like Kobe Bryant was obsessed with the details, the smallest micro details, things that you would give no thought, he obsessed over because it was part of the macro. Listen, I'm telling you, this guy did all sorts of wild stuff, man. Kobe Bryant was borderline crazy. Like he was, that's how he was wired. Like he walked a fence of like psychotic, bro. like kind of like how Batman is. Like Batman's borderline nuts. Like the same way.
To this bar. And back then, street guys would buy all of the Cristal.
Yeah.
Right? But let me tell you something. They're buying the Cristal because what they want is, assuming, not because they are drinking all of it, if somebody comes in and you order Cristal, you got to check in. You got to check in. So I ordered a Cristal. He's not even drinking. Kobe's not drinking at all back then. He was not drinking alcohol at that time. Guy says I have to check in. This guy down at the bar, whatever. I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. He's like, man, fuck this. Just get the thing. So I got the Cristal. No, I didn't get the Cristal. I didn't want to do it. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not doing this. We go out to a diner like 2, 3 in the morning. And the same guy, street guy, won't say his name, is sitting there, and Cole is making jokes about his outfit. And he's being a little loud. I'm like, yeah, you gotta
chill with that, bro.
Yeah, he's not chilling with that, bro. He's loud. The guy sends somebody over, yo, blah, 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 I want to talk to you. I go outside. I'm like, yo, the young kid, he got the gun out. He's like, yo, he got the gun out. Yo, I'm like, yo, he's a young man, da-da-da-da. I'm trying to tell him. That's how, he didn't even know who he was, all right? So he didn't even know who Kobe Bryant is. I'm like, he's a young man thing, he's cool, whatever. Kobe comes outside, sees the gun. I'm like, go back in. He goes, I'm not going nowhere. He did this on 23rd and 9th Avenue. He did that.
So what did old boy
at
say?
18. The whole thing, it died, but he said he ain't going nowhere. I'm like, yo, he's this thing. He don't know who you are. The guy felt embarrassed. Right. It wasn't crazy. The guy felt embarrassed. He really wanted an apology for the embarrassment.
Right.
That was, because it was loud.
Right.
And I was giving him that, it's cool, man, it's fine. He didn't mean no disrespect. He doesn't even know who you are, man. Right. He's not even from here.
Right.
But when he hit the thing out, when he said, I ain't going nowhere, I'm like, what kind of person is?
So he's going back to when he was 18. I can't even believe Kobe Bryant was in a club or a bar at 18, because that's the same day. He said later he was at the diner, right? I can't even picture Kobe going into an establishment like that at 18. I really can't. I ain't saying he's lying, but I ain't saying he's lying. Very possible. You know, these guys are NBA players. They can do whatever the hell they want, go wherever the hell they want. But actually, it could have been an 18 and up kind of spot. But I just know Kobe didn't like going to clubs that much. He would go periodically, but, you know, a lot of times when teammates would, you know, go party at night, Kobe didn't go a lot of the times.
Is this? I'm giving you the out.
Right.
This is not your problem. I'll deal with this problem.
Right.
He don't want that. This is our problem.
Wow. Man,
I never told that story, man.
So, what, I mean, so you knowing that the kid is so disciplined, know that he's standing, as they say now, in business. What did he teach you?
You can run through walls, man. You believe it, you can do anything. There's nothing you can't do that if you believe in it. That's what he taught me. He never...
Did he speak about the basketball aspect? I understand he was there to do music, but did he talk to you about what he wanted to become in the NBA?
Hell yeah, man. He had he manifested all of it. But he really did the work. He knew that if you did all the work, that ultimately it was going to happen.
Successful.
He didn't even think about it. His whole thing was that everybody who has a talent always tapped out in doing the work. I asked him one time, we were at a restaurant, and we're sitting there talking, and I always wanted to ask this question. Dude, what do you think about athletes that come from, I would ask you this, man, athletes that come from two-parent households versus athletes that come from single-parent households. So you got these guys who come from single-parent households, they're in the football field, and their anger and the shit that I'm doing this for my mother, I ain't got no father, whatever the circumstances are, they bring in all that energy on the basketball court, on the football field. And they play with that level of
Rage.
Yeah. And he goes, I said, how do you feel about them versus, he goes, you know, those guys are intimidating and they play with that rage and it works until they run into the real thing. Michael Jordan, me, Magic Johnson, they run into that. And we got the same level of work ethic and rage, but we come from a solid foundation. And that solid foundation, that's the thing that those guys can't beat. He said that to me. I was like, all right.
Wow.
On that gangster story, now like I said, that sounds totally Kobe. That sounds totally Kobe. Guy got a gun. He didn't say the guy had the gun pointed at his head, but let's say the guy had the gun pointed at his head. That's Kobe. He was fearless. He said, I give a damn about your gun. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't backing down from nothing. That was being Bryant. Fearless, dude. He believed in himself on another level. But I would also say this. So he said the gangster didn't know who the hell Kobe was. Or he appeared to didn't know who Kobe was. Because most people, you'd be like, oh, that's Kobe Bryant. Oh, no, that's Kobe Bryant. Yo, chill, that's Kobe. That's Kobe. You don't do that. That's Kobe. But gangsters, I'll tell you this right now, they could give a damn. Real street cats, real gangsters that's about that life. They could give a damn who you are. And how they react, you might assume they don't know who the hell that guy is because he wouldn't react that way. But no, he might have known exactly who the hell Kobe Bryant was. And it didn't matter because he was just another cat in the streets right now. And he wasn't going to treat him like he was something other than that. Than some other guy in the streets that I got a problem with right now. So he could have very well known possibly who the hell Kobe Bryant was, but he wasn't going to treat him any different than anybody else. That is very true about cats that's in the streets like that. That's really about that business. I'm telling you. And the thing about Charles Oakley, that says a lot coming from Oak. To make that direct comparison with Bryant and Mike. Because we all know Oak is Jordan's best friend, or one of his best friends, whatever. Like, Jordan and Oakley are like that. So for Oak to come out and speak so glowingly, especially about a young Kobe Bryant, that speaks volumes. Because Oakley knows Jordan better than most people know Jordan. That's a fact. That is a fact. That is Mike's guy. And Kobe was Mike's guy. And Mike was Kobe's guy. It's crazy because I'm a hardcore Kobe fan. You see the pictures. And you even see the other picture. Hold on, move out the way. Hold on. My friend made that for me. Check that one out. There we go. Yeah, that's my friend. She does my artwork for me here in Japan, some of it. So I come up with ideas and I give it to her. So that's Bean. I just told her, hey, can you make me something, Kobe? I sent her a picture and she came back with this. So I never know what she's coming back with, because as an artist, it might take her months to come up with something, but she has to let it come to her. Right? So that's Kobe. She got all the details right, like even the little things and the skin folds on the back of his neck. Got him looking out at Mount Fuji, and this is based off a actual Japanese art piece by a Japanese artist that influenced the background of that picture with Mount Fuji and the Japanese yen floating in the background. And there's a lot of other details in there. But yeah, she did a great job, man. Shout out to Yo-Yo, man. She on the come up. But yeah. It's crazy, me being the hardcore Kobe fan that I am. You know what I mean? That as much stories as I know that most other people don't know, just because I was tapped in to his lifestyle for many, many, many years throughout his career. As people come up and start talking about Kobe after his death and start, presenting us with these stories that they have kept secret, like Steve said, he's like, I never told anybody this. Like, there's so many crazy stories out there about Bean that people just haven't put out publicly. But now, over the years, after he passed away, slowly people have been sharing some Kobe Bryant stories. Because Kobe's not one of those guys just is gonna, put everything on social media. Look what I'm doing on here. Look at me. I'm on TikTok. I'm going to the gym. I'm doing that. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to tell a story about me. This is what I did. He wasn't like that, man. He was just like, hey, I'm about my business. I'm focused on what I'm doing. I don't got to share what I'm doing to everybody else in the world to prove that I was doing things. That wasn't him. He just did his work, put the work in, go out, and perform. That was Bing. Right? So it's up to the people that have these stories about Kobe Bryant to share them with the rest of us, because there's a lot out there and there's a lot of crazy stuff. Like, I can promise you, this New York City Gangster story probably isn't even the craziest story out there that somebody's holding on to. I can promise you that. Kobe Bryant was nuts, man. He was nuts. And to touch on the part when I said he's very similar to Batman and that Kobe's a borderline psychopath, I'm not saying a complete psychopath. I would say, similar to Batman, Kobe has character traits in common with psychopaths and sociopaths. All right, there's a difference between the two. And one thing that him and Batman definitely have in common, based on their upbringing, is that they've always had a very limited number of close friends and building like companionship with people, and both like to operate alone, very can be very close-minded and closed off when it comes to accepting friendships. It's very hard to build a friendship with this kind of person. You know, Batman always used to say, when people come into Gotham, get out of Gotham. Gotham's mine. We don't need your help. Yeah, things like that, man. You know, don't step on his turf. Trying to do superhero work in his turf. Don't do it. But then eventually, you know, he linked up with Superman, then the Justice League, and there you go. And now he's the leader of the Justice League. Know what I mean?
Ready? Because we're done here.
Are we? Who's the supplier for the aerosol component of the fear toxin?
Who's the what now?
Who is the Scarecrow targeting in City Hall? No? What about something simple? Like, where's the Scarecrow?
Bro, I caught them for you. You're welcome. I didn't know.
I didn't need them caught. I needed them scared. I needed information. Next time you want to help, do me a favor. Don't.
Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. I appreciate y'all for stepping in. This was a good one. I really enjoyed watching that and listening to Steve Stout's story there. And yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for stepping in. And check out our Kobe Bryant playlist. Kobe Bryant fans, you have a home here. We are out here putting the truth out on Kobe Bryant's name. No revisionist history. None of that BS. None of that slandering. You know, a lot of those false truths they are putting out on some of these networks. We're addressing all that BS and speaking about him in truth, good or bad. All right? Catch y'all on the next one. We out, baby.